Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the PivotBoss pre-market video for Thursday, September 3rd, 2020. I am Frank Ochoa, aka PivotBoss. Really quickly here, I do want to say thank you all very much for joining me yesterday afternoon for the monthly market outlook. We covered a lot of topics, including a lot of great stocks for both the long and short side heading into the end of the year and throughout the month. And if you didn't get to see it live, you can watch the recording back at the website or on the YouTube channel. So please check it out and let me know what you think. Alright, here is a look at the ES in the daily time frame right now, and we are currently seeing a bit of a pullback here in pre-market trading. We have a bit of resistance at around the 35.85s that have come into play, and it appears as though, again, after this big strong day up here, we've had the fade after trend day, and now we are going to see if the bulls come in to defend the overnight pullback for a shot at the primary trend move higher into 3600 as we head into the holiday extended weekend. So we could be looking at a buy the dip opportunity here as soon as we can find a strong low. I would keep an eye on the previous session's midpoint here, which is 35.5663. That level is going to be very, very important. If price traps below that level, we could get as low as 35.50 perhaps, and a trap below there could be an opportunity to buy it for a continuation higher into the close. A failure to stay above 35.50s here or close below that zone could open up a bit of a rotation back down where we could retest into the monthly pivot range at some point down the road. Alright, let's see here. The NQ now. NQ currently is down 1.13% right now. It is sitting just above the 270s. It is already below the previous session's midpoint. That's 318s there. That's very, very important because that level right there is kind of a control point for the bulls and the bears throughout a day. And to be below it as it is now would suggest that we could go and retest the previous session's low down there, which is down into the 12,175. So again, we could be looking at a full-on continuation to retest the previous session's low if price can't find a way back above 12,300 very soon. There could still be a shot to bounce back above it. Weekly VWAP currently sitting at around 12,240, and a test of that zone has been an opportunity to buy throughout the week so far. So again, the idea here is that any pullback could still be a buying opportunity until proven otherwise, and if we start to break back below the 12,100s, that would open up a broader pullback that could take us back as deep as the 11.5 level, as we mentioned in the monthly outlook last evening. Alright, let's take a look here at crude oil. With crude oil here, we had a huge breakout. The previous month pre-market video here yesterday morning, I mentioned how narrow this range was here and how similar it was to the range back here, and we got the expansion to the downside that was significant, 200% of ADR and a huge move, and now we're seeing another big day again. So anytime you see a huge 100% increase over average, so 200% of average range day, it tends to suggest that you're about to see an increase of volatility over the next week or perhaps even 2 weeks of trading. And that was the case last time as well. When price had this huge 200+% of ADR day, you got high range days the following days as well. So right now we are seeing a big swing move down here. Again, given the overall trend, every time the market has had the big swing down, it has responded with a bounce. Every time, bounce, bounce, right? Swing down, bounce. So the idea here is to watch for signs that this thing is going to hold 40s and perhaps bounce back up to where it came from, back toward 43, perhaps even into new highs above 44. And we also talked about how narrow the 21-day range was and how this thing could lead to a move of about 5.5 handles. So if we form a low, say off of 40, we could be looking at a move into 45.5 up above, given this compression here. So again, trying to look for a strong low here. Perhaps we've already formed it for the day. If so, if price can remain above 40.5, that could provide an opportunity for short-term bounces back toward VWAP, and then perhaps those could turn into a day-long move and then a swing move higher toward 44s. Alright, let's take a look now at gold futures. Now with gold, we continue to trade within the larger key range here. And this key range was developed by this impulse swing move down, this 5-day move, and ever since then we've been range bound, building that energy for the next move. We saw this play out before as well, when price was pushing higher before, and then it got the pullback and hold, and then it continued higher toward target. So right now we're seeing the compression phase. This compression phase can break in either direction, but given the overall bullish nature of gold here, we're likely to see this thing continue to push higher. Overall, any push as deep as the 1831s could still be a trap and buy opportunity for a continuation higher. So right now it's mostly avoid the chop, and we do have a near-term downtrend right now over the last couple of days after we broke that head and shoulder pattern we talked about in the 60-minute time frame yesterday. We broke below the 1960, and I mentioned that we can get as low as the 1910s. So we still have as low as 1910 to go from this pattern, and the level to continue to watch is 1960 here, and on a short-term basis 1950. Otherwise, it could just continue to chop in the zone, so it's best to avoid the chop overall and look for the bigger move here as it plays out. Alright, that is it for now. We'll see how this develops the rest of the session. Good luck, trade well, and I'll see you in the trading room. Take care.